Is LinkedIn worth it in 2018? Should you use LinkedIn for business or your brand? We'll find out more LinkedIn tips for beginners with expert of LinkedIn, Professor Nez. Stay tuned. Welcome to Self-Publishing with Dale, and if you're new here and you want to learn how to publish your books and build your brand, make sure that you subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss a single post. Not too long ago, I had LinkedIn expert Professor Nez come and speak a little bit about LinkedIn tips for beginners, and we left off last interview with the basis that he would return and maybe audit my LinkedIn profile. So that's what brings him back to the show today, so we can get further in-depth knowledge and tips and strategies for building our platform over on the social media platform of LinkedIn. So without any further ado, let's get right over into the interview. And welcoming to the show, return guest. We don't have too many return guests, but there is one return guest. I had to bring him back. The one, the only, the irrefutable king of LinkedIn, Professor Nez. How you feeling, dude?
I am feeling fantastic, brother. How are you?
I'm good now. We had a little bit of a late start, freaking out. Internet's like, you know, we're gonna maybe work with you, maybe Dale. So at least we're here. So I don't want to complain too much. Before we get too far down the path here, Nez, I want to make sure that I say what's up to chat. Load my boy up with some questions. Here's the deal. He's on a very limited schedule, so you got to get your questions in now. So last time that I had you here, we left off with, hey, could you come back to the show and do a live audit? So I want to jump right into things because since we are working on a little bit of a schedule, I want to make sure that you're all set. So are you good to go, Nez?
I'm always good to go. I'm like strapped in, ready. And by the way, this is something I'd like to say really quickly. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. And I just want to say Dale is a consummate professional. And I want to tell you how much of an honor it is. I feel really special being invited for a second time. I mean, I was worried after the first time Dale would be like, okay, we did Nez, that's it. But the fact that he asked me to be on again, I just want to say really humbled and very, very grateful, sir.
Isn't it crazy? It was just 2 months ago that you and I chatted last on that live, and we had a magnificent day because I came over onto your show. I love your energy. But before we kind of go into patting each other on the back, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a review. It's been about 2 months since that last review, and I put in mediocre amount of attention to LinkedIn. I know, and if you want to beat me up for it, I'm totally okay with that. Here are my results so far, and I'm going to show in the dash here very soon here with the screen share. My results so far over the past, 90 days, and we're going to incorporate that 60 days because the 30 days at the very beginning of it, there was literally 0 results at all. I had 62 profile views, 15 search appearances, and I've essentially implemented semi-weekly video uploads. You've seen some of them. I've tuned up my profile as well to kind of match my brand a little bit more closely. And I've managed to pick up 6, that's right, 6 recommendations on there. And you say that's just a huge thing for building a little bit of the relevancy. So is there anything that you can kind of add? Is this good result so far?
Yeah, so as I always say on every single platform, and I think your audience is savvy enough to know this, it's always something that you have to think long term. If you have quick success, it's usually just the fact that your quality is so good, but you have a little bit of luck that goes with it. When native video first came out a year ago, and I actually am kind of surprised to hear you say, I think you're doing fantastic. I mean, I think you're publishing a lot on LinkedIn, especially videos, which your video editing and your video quality and your production is stellar, my friend. Seriously, it's really, really good. I'm very impressed.
I appreciate
when native video first came out on LinkedIn over a year ago, and I was publishing regularly, I wasn't seeing the results right away. And then I started seeing thousands of views. And then I started seeing 5,000 views and 10,000 views. And now my videos, it's going to take time. I know that you've kind of just started on this, and I want to remind everybody, anytime you called expert or a so-called guru or a so-called thought leader or what have you, if they ever promise anything quickly, if they ever promise this is going to be something you can implement and you're just going to start seeing rainbows and dollars, fly from the sky, you need to question that.
Okay.
I always try to advocate to my clients, to my students, to my best friends like Dale and you guys in the chat. Thank you so much. And everybody, you have to think about this as we're talking 18, 24 months. It's a long-term thing, if not longer. Your personal brand is constantly molding and evolving. You need to adapt with that, and you never stop doing it. It's not like, okay, I fixed the sink. The sink's going to work for this is your personal brand. You're constantly working on it, and LinkedIn is no different. So it just takes time. It just takes patience. It just takes consistency. I know we've heard this before, but consistency really is the king.
Yeah, and
I think your results are great so far. I think you have exemplary results so far. It's just going to get better too.
Yeah, the video views I've been seeing a fair amount, so I'm really happy with that. Before we look at the profile, I've got 2 loaded questions here for you.
Please.
I actually had attended Video Marketing World, and Anthony Ambrose, big shout out to Anthony, he put on a great presentation about video on LinkedIn, and he brought up something pretty interesting. And so I want to see what your take is. Is LinkedIn Premium worth it?
Yes, I think it is, because you have access to, not only do you have access to extra features such as lynda.com, ProFinder, but the real important thing is you have access to the number one thing that's important when building your personal brand, which is eyeballs and earballs. You have access to the people. You have access to the attention. Your analytics are right there. You don't have analytics like naturally natively on YouTube and other platforms. On LinkedIn, to understand, I mean, when we say analytics too on LinkedIn, and I want to get to Mojo's question in just a second.
Okay.
Great. Mojo, great question. It's really interesting because the analytics allow you to see not only what's happening with your channel, and now I call it a LinkedIn channel because it's kind of cool. It is really a LinkedIn channel.
Yeah.
But you actually can have access to who exactly specifically is checking out your stuff. So this is like, I mean, talk about insights. I think $60 a month. I'm paying. I don't know what the different tiers are. I'm paying $59 a month or $59.99.
Okay.
The amount of business that I've received, the amount of clients that I've received, the amount of attention that I've received, the fact that LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile comes up first on most of us when people actually Google us, which is what the attention and the behavioral process in the 21st century is, illustrating to us, that everybody, when they want to find out who the hell's Dale, who the hell's Nez, where do they go first? They go to Google. So your LinkedIn profile is on that first page. I mean, it's well worth the investment. I mean, I've gotten a 6,000% ROI on my $59 a month, if not more.
Yeah, I know that when you had shared that you were getting 5-figure speaking gigs, that made me sit up to attention.
5-figure speaking gigs. Who wants to hear Professor Nez talk for an hour? I know I do.
I do actually. I love talking to you.
But yeah, I mean, and I'm nothing special too, Dale. I want to send this. This is my number one message that I want to send out to everybody.
Yeah.
You can do this as easily, as productively, as effectively as Dale and I. There's nothing special about Professor Nez. There's definitely something special about Dale.
Oh, well, thank you.
There's nothing special about me. The only difference between me and 99% of people is I pay attention to where the activity is. I pay attention to where my ICA is, my ideal customer avatar. Yeah. You need to know who your ideal customer avatar is. And I just absolutely go, I mean, kilometers, miles deep into serving them.
Okay, awesome. Very good. We're going to get to the question.
Can I answer Mojo's question?
You know what? Why don't you go ahead, and I'll save my question for next.
So Mojo says, how often should you post? This is a really good question. As an author, how would you call yourself a freelancer? How long should videos be? This is fantastic. So this is a great question. So I believe that Instagram, you should be posting 4, 6, 7 times a day. You really should, because the algorithm supports that. On LinkedIn, I don't think there's any pressure to post more than a couple of times a week, to be honest. And the beautiful thing about LinkedIn is you have a lot more time on your videos. I believe right now, as of this recording, it's 10 minutes. That's a lot of time to get your purpose across to your audience.
Yeah.
So focus on quality, focus on consistently at least once a week. I try to post videos 3-4 times a week on my LinkedIn channel. I know Dale's been having some amazing output and great results.
Yeah.
But focus first on who in the world are you? What are you trying to say? And who's your audience? And if you have that be your compass, it's really akin to writing, isn't it, Dale?
Oh, yeah.
If you know who you are and you understand what your purpose is and you make that clear to your audience, which is writing 101, basically, it's the same thing with video, then you're going to be on fire.
Nice. Good stuff. I always love it. And this was something we were discussing on Twitch just yesterday. I was like, how many times will Nez do the take the glasses off serious talk? So
I can't see, so I have to, but I want to look at you in the camera.
I love it though.
Read.
It's
I'm an old
amazing.
Man.
Yeah, it's amazing. Anytime you take
a drinking game.
I swear to you, it's almost like you go from Clark Kent into Superman. As soon as you take those glasses off, we know you're serious. You're ready.
Should that be like my signature thing?
I think it should be. And in fact, anybody at the end of this, anybody who can tell me the number of times that Nez takes his glasses off, put it inside the comments, whether in live chat or anything else, and you'll get yourself a golden banana sticker if you can get it accurately. I love giving you a hard time. So I
love it. I love it. Please, I need it.
We're going to come back over to the comments here in just a second, and I just have one more question before we go into a screen share, and I want you to audit my profile and let me have it. I know you've always been honest with me, so you're not going to pull any punches. But my next one would be we've talked a little bit about investing in LinkedIn Premium. What about investing in LinkedIn ads? Because I was just sent an offer to where they pretty much were like $100 in free ads over on LinkedIn. Is ads something appropriate for what we're going for?
That's a fantastic question. Okay. I've always hoped that LinkedIn would follow what Facebook does because there's nothing that really compares in the marketplace to Facebook targeting. Mm-hmm. Even after Cambridge Analytica and even after their data breaches, Facebook still dominates when it comes to ads. Yeah. It looks like LinkedIn is finally heeding the call. So they've introduced carousel ads. Their video ads are very seamless in the news feed. And I believe I actually haven't even implemented any LinkedIn targeting ads because I've optimized. Here's probably the answer you weren't expecting. Yeah. Because I've optimized my profile so succinctly and exquisitely, I actually don't even need to run ads. I'm getting people I'm coming up on search. Yeah. I'm coming up on Google. I'm coming up on the LinkedIn's. By the way, LinkedIn is a search engine, y'all. In case you didn't know this, LinkedIn is a search engine. So optimizing your profile for keyword search, sound familiar, YouTubers? It's a crucial part of your tactics. So I have been meaning to use LinkedIn video ads and their carousel ads, and I've heard nothing but great things. And definitely take advantage of their $50, I don't know how much it is. It's like a $50 free trial or free credit or something like that. Yeah. Take advantage of that. When I used to when I first tried video ads, LinkedIn ads, they didn't really introduce video ads for a while. Yeah. It was the most expensive thing I ever experienced in my life, and I was extremely upset. But things have changed. This was about 2-3 years ago. Oh, yeah. Because I was trying to get a little more, momentum for my business, my online consulting agency. Yeah. And it just was really expensive. I even went in a couple of Facebook groups, and I was like, I just saw $500 leave my bank account, and I just ran the ad for like a day or two. I was blown away. I was like, what did I just do wrong? And I immediately went into the account and shut them off. But now I think they've really understood. They've listened to their audience. One thing about LinkedIn, they listen. They listen to us. So they're the reason why they have 575 million members. I mean, 500 million members strong, and they're gaining new members like 4 a minute or something like that. I'm telling you guys, this platform is for you, especially you YouTubers, especially with video.
Nice. Good. But that's definitely reassuring. I think before I break ground on the ads and really start to invest, I'll probably test it out and then maybe even look into the premium model. Hey, I know we're starting to...
I think you just need to test it. You just need, just like everything else. When I first went on Facebook ads, nothing worked. Mm-hmm. But now I realize Facebook ads are insanely valuable. It's all about tweaking, testing, and the whole deal. You got to just experiment.
Yeah. All right, so let's go into a screen share. I know that we're kind of getting a little bit strapped
I'm ready.
for time.
I can't wait to tear your profile.
Yeah, oh yeah, you know it for sure. So we're going to go over into the screen share
glasses
view
are
for
going
our
on.
audience here. And hopefully I can get the screen share, everybody get to see what is going on here. And we're going to go into share. All right, can you see my desktop, buddy?
Yes, I can. Fantastic.
Okay, awesome. So here we are into my profile section. I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to let the master pick this apart.
Yeah, so I love your banner photo. And I actually noticed this the other day. I love the colors. The colors match your branding. I love your value proposition there. Publish your book, build your brand. Okay. Self-publishing with Dale Roberts. My very first, so I mean, there's so much that's going well with this, and it looks like you followed the LinkedIn summary template that did I send you that template, or did you just take that off my page?
I just literally did the same thing you told me the last interview. You go,
fantastic.
Take mine, I want you to copy it and then put your own words into it. So let me hit the drop
fantastic.
down.
So here's my biggest, so there's 4 components that are the most important when it comes to creating a LinkedIn profile. That's your banner photo. If you can just highlight that or just put your mouse over it. Yeah. So that's your banner photo, your profile photo, your headline, okay, which needs to be keyword optimized, and then your LinkedIn summary. Those are the 4 biggies. I'm not going to really go too deep into like branding and publishing, and because there's so much there as well.
Yeah.
But the 4 biggies are banner, profile, headline, and summary. Okay. Your banner is phenomenal. Okay, I absolutely love it. I'm not that much different from a YouTube channel, Art. It needs to communicate why should I pay attention to Dale? What is it about Dale that serves me? So your LinkedIn banner needs to do the same thing. It should be a visual narrative, okay, almost like a pictorial narrative, a story that says something succinctly, concisely about who you are, what you're all about, and how you can help me. Because as Dale Carnegie said, nobody cares about you. They only care about themselves. So if you have a customer-centric approach, a people-centric approach, if you're in the world, in the universe of serving, you will win. Now, my biggest problem here is your profile photo, and I'll tell you exactly why. You're a handsome dude. It looks fantastic.
Okay.
But it's the same exact photo of the photo that's in your banner photo.
Ooh, okay.
So the yellow blends too much with that, and the picture looks just repetitive.
Okay.
And this isn't really a big deal. It's a really easy fix, A, and B, even if you left it like this, Dale, not a big deal. But my thing is, I think if you have a different photo, okay, just a photo that eliminates the redundancy,
okay,
I think you're going to have a much more powerful presence just with those, because you got to understand, put yourself in the mind of the user. This is all about, I call it the psychology of the scroll. What's going to compel people to scroll down further? Your banner photo and your profile photo are the first things they see. Mm-hmm. They don't even see your headline until they're compelled to scroll further after being hit by your LinkedIn banner and your profile photo. Does that make sense, Dale?
Absolutely, yeah.
I would actually contrast your profile photo with your banner photo. I would even maybe use, instead of the yellow background, which I think blends too much, in keeping with your brand, I would maybe do that blue color in the background just to kind of have a hint of contrast.
I like that.
And then maybe even instead of saying savvy self-publisher, have another shirt that, and I know you have different types of merch. Yeah, I love it. I love that. But
it's the same one, but I got a different one.
Capitalize. Yeah, we need to capitalize on that real estate.
Okay.
You already have savvy self-publishing on your channel, Art. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So maybe
your banner photo already
or...
exemplifies that. Yeah. So I would say capitalize on that real estate.
Okay.
So your profile photo. Maybe you have another shirt that says, $10 off, or not $10 off, but maybe you have another shirt that says, something related to your brand, like Kindle KDP expert or something like that. You know what I mean? Or Amazon self-publishing, strategist. I don't know, something like that. A different value prop or an added benefit to why I should scroll further. Everybody listening, everybody watching, this is the number one thing you need to understand when it comes to creating a dominant, beautiful, attractive, attention-grabbing LinkedIn profile. You have to always be thinking, what will compel somebody to keep wanting to find out about me? What will compel somebody to click that contact or that connection or that, you know what, I'm going to find out about this, guys. See, there's even a section that says see contact info. Click on that, Dale. Let me see what you have.
See contact info?
Yeah, right next to your headline, it says self-publishing with Dale, Bowling Green State University, and then it says see contact info.
Oh.
So click on that.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, good. So Dale's done a great job.
Thank you.
Fantastic. You've got your website. You've got your YouTube channel, even your Twitch channel. Look how savvy you are, Dale Roberts.
Yep. I literally did exactly what you told me last time. So this just goes to show I'm on the right path.
I absolutely love this. Fantastic. And by the way, Dale, we can go about 5-6 minutes over 9 if we have to.
Okay, wonderful. I'm in your
Here's what's really interesting is you've got your A lot of people don't realize this about LinkedIn. You can post, not anytime you post a video on LinkedIn, you can cross post it natively to Twitter. And the fact that you've linked your Twitter to your LinkedIn profile is awesome. That makes me really proud of you, Dale.
Hey, thank you.
So
very
X
much.
out of this, that's fantastic.
Okay, awesome.
So that's great. So the biggest first thing that's salient and that something I notice is your profile photo just contrasts that in a way that brings a little bit more of that dynamic, if that makes sense.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Your headline, which needs to be optimized for keyword search.
Yes.
Best-selling author. Okay, that's fantastic. That gives people a little bit of an idea of who you are specifically. Now, like, what can you do for me? I would say, this is what I would say with your headline. I actually love your keyword phrases. Okay. I actually love public speaker, brand building expert. I would put best-selling author at the end.
Ooh, okay.
And I'll tell you why. It goes in keeping with what I said earlier. I said, make it all about them, not about you. When you start with best-selling author, the amount of attention span deficit that we have in our world now, people might see that as, okay, he's just promoting himself.
Yes.
And not that they're going to specifically, but they just might go, okay, you know what? I'm over it. I don't need somebody who calls himself a best-selling author. What does that have to do with me, right? You've done such a great job of grabbing their attention with your banner photo and your profile. I think your headline, you don't want to lose them with your headline. Yeah. So here's what I would do. I think you should start with self-publishing expert and coach. Okay. I think you should put public speaker, brand building expert. Then you put the sort of qualitative stuff, which is video content creator and best-selling author. I think that also communicates humility as well. You're not starting with you. Here's the biggest thing. When I consult e-commerce stores and I consult branding your website, I can't stress this enough, Dale. And the same is true with your LinkedIn profile. Think of your LinkedIn profile as your professional website. It's literally your virtual business card. So everything has to be geared towards your ICA, your ideal customer avatar. You've got to tailor and cater to your audience. You are in the business of serving. If you want to make money, if you want to take care of yourself, your family, and you want to scale your business, I'm sorry, but you have a million bosses, and those bosses are your audience. So you've got to serve them. I'm sorry. A lot of people say, oh, running my own business, I'm like free. I'm my own boss. No, you're not. You're not your own boss because you have nothing if you don't have customers. That's so deep. Tailor everything towards them. I think start with self-publishing expert and then put the best-selling author and content creator towards the end. I like public speaker, brand building expert. Now self-publishing expert and coach. So tell me a little bit about the ideology behind brand building expert. What exactly are you trying to convey there?
I want to convey that I have a firm grasp on directing people to how they can really etch out their author platform, how they're able to build a brand beyond those books.
I think you should be more specific there. I really do. I think brand building expert is a little vague. I have brand consultant on mine, but it's following the keyword phrase personal branding keynote speaker. Yeah. So my big thing is personal branding. I'm a personal branding coach through and through. Okay. So I help you discover your purpose, communicate your message, and impact your audience. That's my value prop.
I love that.
So, brand building expert, I think can be a little bit vague. I'm not actually opposed to it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think if you say something like, if you say something, and I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head right now, and you can obviously revise this, but maybe putting the modifier book brand building expert or author brand building expert.
Niching it down then.
Niching it down. That's exactly right.
Love
look who I'm talking to. I'm talking to Dale Roberts. He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
This makes complete sense to me.
So I think actually, I think that people will it's already intrinsic that what you do applies to a lot of different types of brand building. But what I know about you, Dale, which is so smart and intelligent, is you have built your entire brand in such a specific way, which I love. And we've all heard this before. If you try to serve everyone, you're going to serve no one.
Yeah.
So, not to say, and it used to bug me when people would say that to me when I was first starting in this thing years ago. Yeah. I started my very first online endeavors with a MySpace blog. I was huge on MySpace blogging.
MySpace.
15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And if those of you who are young are going, what's MySpace? But honestly, Dale, I love how you've niched down. And I think to continue with that consistency would be because look what you did here. You're not just an expert and coach, you're a self-publishing expert and coach.
Okay.
Actually, maybe even something more specific with public speaker. So I talk about being a personal branding speaker, right?
Yeah.
Maybe something, where you put a modifier. Modifiers are important, I think.
Yeah. And
modifiers before these types of nebulous nouns, I believe, really add value. And I think that's. But other than that, your banner, photo, and headline are phenomenal. Now let me look at your summary here. If you could scroll down a little bit, please. Okay, let me see what you got here for your summary. So who I am, I love sharing my enthusiasm and passion for book publishing and brand building. I'm devoted to cementing a legacy as an online entrepreneur who helps others as a best-selling author. Yes. Notice the key. Now, here's where people make a huge mistake. They do not optimize their summary for keyword search. If you get the premier package, okay, for LinkedIn, you will see your search results increase in your niche, in your specific area, if you optimize your summary, not just your headline. A lot of people, they just think, okay, well, I'm the man, and I'm just going to do all this sort of bio, run-of-the-mill bio description, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that with your LinkedIn summary. And I love what you did. You've actually niched, especially in that Who I Am section, by actually putting even some of the most. It's very synonymous with your headline. I love that. If you have room, scroll down to the. Actually, can you go to my page real fast, Dale?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here.
So what I've done with my LinkedIn summary, and this is something I've tweaked recently. And I think this might be a better way to show it, if that's okay, Dale.
No, it's A-okay. Actually,
go to my LinkedIn summary.
Hey, there you are.
And you go towards the view. Yeah, there you go. If you say show more there, and then go to the very bottom.
Yeah.
Do you see those services right there?
Ooh, look at that.
Those are all keyword phrases.
That's amazing.
Everybody should do that. Now, I've actually seen people put, instead of services, they just put keywords. I don't know if I really recommend that.
Yeah.
But if you look at all of those, services, they're pretty much all related to what I do specifically. Digital brand coach, personal branding, personal brand, social media.
Yeah.
I also niche down audiences. So my favorite types of clients when I do executive career coaching are military clients, because they are just awesome people. I love my country. I have military in my family, and they're the most respectful, the most genuine, and they appreciate my work more than anybody. Now, obviously, I'll work with anybody, who's willing to, get on the phone with me, and I like to vet people first, because sometimes I can't help people if they're not receptive, right?
Yeah.
But notice how I've niched down the United States Army, United States Navy, United States Marine Corps. Those are my ICA. My ideal customer avatar.
Nice.
Guys, I cannot tell you how important it is to dissect, do an autopsy on who your audience is. You can serve millions and billions, But if you niche down, okay, and you isolate your ideal customer, you can start going a lot quicker, and you can start building that sort of relationship and building that value trust, that inherent trust, to where it's going to build and grow and grow. And it's like a ripple in a lake. You're going to reach everybody. You're going to reach everybody you need to reach eventually. The biggest problem that people have is people give up too quick. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem. So I want you to add this section. Now you're limited to characters in your LinkedIn summary. So I had to tweak other sections. I had to tweak other sections, which was actually good because, as a writer, Dale, we're never done editing. Never.
No, ever.
I always make fun of my students. Well, I don't make fun of my student. Well, actually, I do make fun of my students sometimes. But I always make fun of the educational process, because the educational process is rough draft, final draft, rough draft, final draft, which is a bunch of manure. You ask any professional writer, and Dale, I know, will vouch for this. There is no way in a million years that a writer just does one rough draft and then submits their final draft right after that. We do 1 million rough drafts, if not more. So I revised and tweaked my summary to fit these keyword phrases because the analytics informed my decision. Please, everybody, heed this. The analytics, the data informed my decision to do this. I found that what I was getting searched for, and maybe even the vacancy of my search, was something that needed my attention. So I've optimized. Guys, running a business, running a personal brand, it is endless. You have to understand this, but it's so worth it.
Nice, good stuff. Hey, we're running a little over the hour. How are we doing here, man? This is
like I got. Let's can we like maybe a couple more minutes and that's it?
Absolutely. Hey, I am appreciating all of this extra knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much the deal. I mean, if you want to go back to yours real quickly, Dale?
Certainly.
So, I mean, the template that Dale employed is one that I have really discovered for my clients and for myself and for colleagues and what have you, that it really does a great job of following the way that people actually, following the way that people actually consume information. And I think what you've done with your summary is fantastic. I see services down there, Dale.
Yes, sir.
And that's fantastic. I think that's great. I think I would say that last section, services, Dale, I would say edit the rest of your profile to add maybe 10, 20 more keyword phrases there.
Okay, so
and again, keyword phrases that are all related. You can use a lot of keyword search tools. I'm sure your audience is savvy enough. I use a lot of Chrome plugins. I think we both use TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is a great one too. But you can optimize for keyword search and just type in, like, if you're a career coach, type in if you're a book marketer, type in if you're a plumber, and then see what types of keywords come around related to that, and then put those in your summary. I'd say that's about it.
Very cool. Thank you, man. This is real. I'm excited. Like I'm ready to bite right into this. So, is there any last words before I shut off the screen share here?
No, I think you're totally good. I think that's fantastic. I think everything else looks great. Just keep publishing. Just keep posting. And yes, Bionic Vapor, many rough drafts. And make sure that you're patient, because it is definitely a long play.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Getting status, getting momentum on any platform is definitely a long play.
Yeah, and I think just from the last 2 months, I felt really good about it, and I'm glad that you were able to further edify the proof that came out, because I was proud of it. I'm like, this is awesome, and I was waiting for you to go, that's not good, and it's really encouraging to hear that these small steps that I took have paid off.
Yes, exactly. And I'm telling you right now, Dale, you and your energy and the amount of quality that you put into your content, It's very green territory, LinkedIn. I mean, you know, I find it really ironic and funny that all of a sudden now a lot of these influencers are talking about LinkedIn video when I've been talking about LinkedIn video for over a year ago. I have a post, and I'm very proud of this post because I want people to understand that, you know, these platforms have been here for a while. Do your own investigation. Don't take anybody's word for it. Don't even take Professor Nez's word for it. Do your own investigation. Find out where your audience is, and then you definitely go and serve them as best as you can. And Dale, you're doing a terrific job. I know your audience appreciates you, and I will be, you know, bowing to you as the LinkedIn master probably in the next 18 months. I just know it. I mean, I watch all your stuff. You see me comment on your posts and like your posts.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're doing terrific, man. I got my eye on you, Dale Roberts.
Thank you. As I do you. I've been taking some notes as I pay attention to some of your posts. As we start to wrap things up, may I request something of you?
Sure.
Could you come back in about another couple months and let's do an audit of some of the viewers? Is that okay?
Oh, yes. I would love that.
Awesome.
As a matter of fact, I'm so for that, doing LinkedIn channel audits. I think that's fantastic, Dale, and I would love to do that. And as many as you'd like, I'd love to do that. And maybe we could even set up where we'd have a little bit more time and go on Twitch too, you know, if you want to. And I would be more than happy to do that. More than happy to help your audience, more than happy to do channel audits. Absolutely.
Well, fantastic. How can people get a hold of you, Professor Nez?
So if you just Google Professor Nez, I know that's how most people do it anyway. You could Google Professor Nez. You'll see my website, professornez.com. My YouTube channel is Professor Nez. I would love for you guys to subscribe. We have a weekly live stream every Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. I've got my Nez Nation live stream podcast, which Dale was, you know, humbly and graciously, you know, accepted my invitation. He's been on our podcast. It's Personal Branding 101 podcast. We're on iTunes, Google, Stitcher, Spotify. Would love to have you guys subscribe to that. And yeah, thank you so much. Come visit me. Come hang out with Nez Nation. Become an honorary member. Dale is definitely a member of the Nez Nation family.
I am.
And I would love for you to be there as well.
Hey, big congratulations. I saw you broke 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
really
much.
good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm getting reviewed right now for super chats, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
I don't know how long YouTube takes. By the way, how long do they take usually for that, Dale? Do you know?
It varies. Sometimes a couple of weeks, sometimes a few months. I've heard some people being held in limbo for up to 6 months. But I think for the content that you're putting out, you should see that pretty soon because it's not like
that's
you have
awesome.
questionable
Thank
content.
you. Yeah, I was kind of thrown back by the vague timeline. It was like I even posted on Instagram. It was like, hey, we're reviewing your channel, and you know we'll get back to you in a month or so.
Like a month?
A month or so?
Take up knitting, Nez. You just got to take up knitting with Nez. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Professor Nez, I appreciate it. You stayed over a little bit longer. I appreciate everybody tuning in for today's broadcast. Hey, if you enjoyed today's video interview, make sure that you hit that thumbs up and share it with somebody else who would enjoy it too. In the meantime, and in between time, and on behalf of Professor Nez, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and we will see you later.